Hey y'all, what's going on? This is J. Marie Booklist, and today I'm coming to talk to you about working during the cold blue. So, as a unit secretary, I have, you know, called cold blues. They come running down the hallway, running past me, call a cold blue, things like that, grab the crash cart. You know, we've all experienced that. But I had actually never seen someone cold. Like, I had never seen that. So this is typically what would happen. Be at the desk, someone would yell out, call a cold blue, and then people start running. Or someone run past, grab the crash cart, call a cold blue. Or usually that's what happens. Call a cold blue. And then so you would get on the phone, and then whatever your procedure is at the hospital, call a code blue, dial a number, call a code blue, tell them what room, and then everybody's running. So that's usually what happened. Now, after we called the code blue, my job as a secretary was to take the chart into the room, and then that was it. Like, I couldn't even get in the room because everybody in the room. You got a crash cart, you got furniture moved over here and there, people trying to get in, people, the team will come up from the ICU and work on the patient. So you just pass the chart in. Now, sometimes I would get a message to call the doctor, the primary care physician, or if the patient expired, then we would call the, the primary, the consultant doctors, and let them know that the patient expired, things like that. But that was it. That was pretty much the extent. Now, now there was a time where we had a patient. Now this is when I was still on the main floor. We had a patient who I don't know what was going on with him, but the PA had went in the room. So it was me and the PA at the desk. So the PA had, and she would sit there for a long time and just see everybody, because I used to work on the biggest floor. And so she would sit there for like hours. And so she got up, she went in the room, she spoke to the man, and then she came back, she put the order in the computer to make the patient a DNR. So I made the man, so, the order was in there, so I got up, I put the sticker on the chart, he's a DNR, and then went on, sit back down. So me and her sitting at the nurse's station, all of a sudden, call a cold blue in the room. So they called the cold blue. I get up, I take the chart, I put it in the room, I give it to him. And so now it's all this confusion because they're coding the man. They're trying to bring him back. But there's a sticker on the chart that says, do not resuscitate, DNR. So the charge nurse, and they come out, so they don't know if they should continue to call him or to stop. So they come out, the charge nurse cussing, yelling. Well, she wasn't cussing, but she going off. And I'm like, you need to bring that down. That man's a DNR. When? No, he's not. He's not a DNR. He's full cold. And so now the PA is still sitting there. I'm like, that man is a DNR. The order's right here. It just got, it literally, from the time she came out that room, from speaking with him and put that order in, into the time I put the sticker on, it was 5 minutes, and that man coded. Like, that's how fast it happened. So, the nurse never even knew. She had never even checked her chart to her orders to see that this man became, the only one that knew that man was a DNR was the PA and me. And so when I did my job, I put the sticker on there and went on, set back down, and then they called the cold blue. That's how fast it happened. So it was this. So that I think he ended up dying, but she never said anything to the nurse. I never said it. That's how fast it happened. She came back, sat down, and put the order in, and then I just saw it. I was on top of it. That's how I do. And so put it on, and that man coded within 5 minutes, and it was all this confusion. But thank God, that's how fast a code can happen. That's why I always tell y'all to be proactive. I'm sorry, I just got a text, I'm looking at it. And I tell y'all to be proactive, because you don't know when. You don't know when things will change. That's how fast it changed. And this is on the main floor. 5 minutes From the time she came out that room to the time that man coded was 5 minutes. So me and her were the only ones that knew that man was a DNR, that she had spoke with him and put that order in. That's how fast it happened. So that's why I tell you, be proactive, be ready. Don't be, I'll put the sticker on when I come back from break, or just do it. Or I'm gonna do this, and then, because you never know what could happen. That's why I'm always like that. I do certain things first thing in the morning, because you never know what's gonna happen. I make sure the charts have stickers and face sheets, because you never know what's gonna happen. That man can code and then be off that floor that fast, which is fine. Well, okay, let's say the chart doesn't have stickers. Let's say you and, because this was kind of a question about stickers. Like, one of the first things I do in the morning is I make sure the charts have face sheets and stickers. And someone said, well, what if they only have, I don't print stickers. Well, I always print stickers, print the labels for the patient, because they code. Because after the patient codes and they use the crash cart, hold on just a second. After the patient codes and they bust open that crash cart, you're gonna need a new crash cart. Now, some people at the hospital, there's a way you can order it in the computer, but for whatever reason, we never order it that way. We always call down to Central Supply and ask for a new crash cart, which is weird. But we always put a sticker on that crash cart so that it will be billed properly. So we put a patient label on that crash cart, because it's like a form or whatever. And we usually do that after they're done. So like, they're no longer using crash cart, they put it in a certain place, put a sticker on, they get a sticker from the chart, put it on there. But like, what if, because when you give them the chart, you have, like, if the patient codes and you take that chart into the room, that's what we do, and they only got like three labels, and they getting all this medicine, they run into the med room to get more, they bust open the crash cart, and you only got 3 labels, like 3, not 3 sheets of labels, just 3 labels, because you didn't print any face sheets or labels, and they only got 3 labels. Come on now. So that's why I always make sure you got enough, because you never know what can happen. You never know. They literally got 3 sheets, three face sheets, 3 little stickers. They got a whole sheet with only 3 stickers on there, because you didn't print any face sheets. So you're gonna put one on the crash cart, and you might run, what's the MR number? Here, take the label. Here, give them a label, a patient label. They run to the med room, they read the account number, MR number off, and then they can get the medicine. But you only got 3, and they gone. They don't use them all. So now we need to put it on the paperwork, because like, I don't know if you ever really seen all the 10 billion people in the room, but you got them doing CPR, you got them trying to get a line in, you got somebody on the computer doing what charting, you got someone calling time. Like, it's a lot going on. You got people standing in line waiting on their turn to give CPR. You got a lot going on. Somebody got to run to get labeled. What's the MR number? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ain't nobody gonna remember all that. Give them a label and they run and get the medicine. Do you understand? But you only got 3 because you didn't want to print. So, no. Print your labels and print your face sheet. I would rather you print and have too many than not have enough. Because like I said, it can change. Oh, I was about, so like, let's say when she went in the room, and because this was like later on I had did what I do. Okay, I'm sitting there minding my own business. She went in the room, talked to the man, and then the man only, and then she put the order in. He ain't had no labels, and then he cold, and now they all in the room, and they all bust open the crash cart, and they getting this medicine. They got to run to the med room. They got to get this. They got to go get that after clean, because it's a lot that goes on, and there are no labels, because I'm gonna get around to it. No, that's the first thing I do. Always make sure that the charts had labels. I don't care if it's like the question was talking about a observation unit. What they got to do anything? they can either go to the main floor or they can go down to the ICU or they can go home. I mean, 9 times 10 they go home, but they could go to another floor. They could go to ICU. They could go to surgery. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, just, I understand it's 24 hours. They can go wherever. They can go main floor. They can go ICU. They go surgery. There's a lot of places people can go. They need to have labels so people can have the MR number and the account number always with them. So that's just me. That's just me. That's just my thing. Now when I went to the ICU, this is when I saw somebody cold for real. Cause like it was always I'm at the nurse's station working, or I'm here and somebody run past, call a cold blue, and then calling. But I had never seen anyone cold, like cold. So I remember when I went over to ICU, I don't know how long I was there. I wasn't there that long, and I must have floated to another floor, or maybe I had worked on our sister floor because we ain't had that many patients in the ICU. But I had came down because night shift gets there early, so they there at 5 o'clock. I don't understand it, but they there at 5 o'clock. Okay, y'all here, you got this. All of them there, the nurses, CNAs, the unit secretaries. Oh, okay, I'm gone then. So I go back down to my floor, and the man had been, y'all, I'm telling you, so I had to use the bathroom, okay? And I said, so I was down there back in the ICU, and I was like, oh, I'll be back. I go to the bathroom. And then the man cold. Like, the man was sitting, because the way the ICU was, they were like, the rooms were all on this side. And then I guess when they were building it, they decided to add one more room, and they put another one. But it's weird. It was like, you could tell it wasn't originally in the plans. So that room was a weird shape in a weird place. But you can see into the room, like you can see everything. So usually, like, if we were short staffed with the nurses, the charge nurse would get that room, because you can sit anywhere and see into that room. And so you can sit at the nurse station and see into that room. So the curtains were open because I guess he had been doing something. His heart had been and it was kind of funky, and they were watching him. Y'all, that man was sitting up in the bed. He was sitting up because the bed was, up. And that man turned purple, and then that man turned blue. Okay, and so they're lowering the bed. They're calling it like call a cold blue, and they're lowering it. I don't know if they pulled the cord, because I know the nurse was lowering the bed, because he was as they were lowering it, he was turning. And then the one run past me, grabbed the crash cart, because we had 2 crash carts in ICU, and so it was the one closest. And y'all, I had never seen anybody turn. Okay, I had never seen it, because I'm always at the nurse station sitting there, and somebody run past screaming, call a cold blue. But I'm here now in the ICU. They're right there. That man turned, and she lowering the bed so they can put the board underneath him. They get the crash cart, put the board under him so they can do. Y'all, okay, I told you I had to pee. I was scared a little bit. Okay, that pee went right back up. Like, so like, I still could see that. I could still see it. That man turned purple, then he turned blue as they were lowering the bed, because he was sitting up, and they were running. So that was my first. That was my first. So when I went to ICU, it was more, it's right there. Like, I'm seeing it. I'm the one calling, I'm still calling. I'm still, I'm now more sometimes getting the crash cart, rushing into the room. I'm still taking the chart into the room, and then, but the thing I did differently than I did from the other floor is I would, because it's the ICU, so they would have family in there. And like, the other floors would have families too, but it would be so many people in those rooms, the family get pushed out the room. They would, everybody run in, get the family out. The family in the hallway. Nobody is, I don't even know where the family. I guess they in the hallway. I don't know. I just took the chart and went back to the nurse station. But in the ICU, it's small, and the curtains, because the door is open, the curtain is open. It's not like a little door. It's a curtain with sliding doors. All that's open because they got to bust open the crash cart. The crash cart. Yeah, there was a way we can swing the door out and get the crash cart in there, because now we're about to have everybody up in here. We're about to have the team come up in here, and people coming from every door. I'm telling you. Our sister floor, they will come down. The charge nurse might come down from their sister floor. The team come running, and who else will come? And then we had like like where they would do procedures and operation. We had on, or they would come because they want to make sure it's not their patient, like a patient, because because we were close knit on our side of the hospital. We were close knit, so they would come to make sure it wasn't one of theirs, because if see who's coding, and want to make sure it wasn't someone who just came from over there, because then they had to take them back, or because like they might have to take them back. They gotta make room because somebody's coding over. You might take them over to the OR, so they would come. I mean, people would come running from all the doors we had. People would come through, and so they would be in there. So my responsibility, because it wasn't one of those because they will pull the cord. They pull that cord in the room. All rooms have a cold blue cord. They will pull it. They will pull it. They will call it. I'm calling it. Ain't no misunderstanding, because sometimes patients will, family, they'll pull the cord and it's not really a cold blue, but they will pull it. Like in ICU, they pull that bad boy all the time, and so and then I would call it just to confirm that cold blue in this room. And so, we had a lot of people. So my job was to get the family, if they had family, out the room, and we had a little waiting room. So I would be comforting them and take them to a little waiting room or to the main, and then I will also go and pull the door, the curtain to the other rooms, and the door, because it's loud up in there, because we got the cold blue alarm going off. It's going off on the call box. It's going off in the unit. It's going off. It's just going off. So so I will close the door. Now, the way the ICU was set up, the people in the other rooms could see that this patient was flatline, because that's just how the monitors were set up. So, because if the nurse was in another room, because it's ICU, so if the nurse is in another room, they can still monitor the heart. They can still monitor the EKG. They can still monitor it from other rooms. But when it went cold, it went to all the monitors. That's how the other nurses knew everybody need to go in this room, because that's where everybody going. Everybody going in this room to save this life. So I'm out there directing traffic for everybody, running through every door, and getting the family out there and getting them some Kleenex, and because they're crying and carrying on, and then closing the curtains, and and they know something, and the patient knows something's going on, because they can see the monitor and it's flat, because they think it's them. Okay, they looking like, wait a minute, am I flat? Okay, but they think it's their monitor, and they scared. Like, no, that's the other person's. You're okay. So, and then we had monitors all over the place. Then we had monitors at the nurse's station. They actually wanted me to learn how to read. They were like, to learn how to read the monitors, the heart monitors. And because I know the one secretary, that's how she got the job, because I think she originally applied to work in the monitoring room, but they needed a secretary, so they said, hey, you can do this. So that's how she ended up getting the job. But she used to be a monitor tech, so she could read the heart monitors, and so they wanted me to learn how to read it, because I'm just I'm good at everything else. Why can't I learn how to do that? And I thought about it, but I was like, I couldn't work here in our monitor room, because they were annoying. They were annoying. It got on my nerves. I didn't like none of them. I didn't like none of them. They were annoying. Okay, well, I guess if you're in a little room all day, I'm like, y'all just annoying. But but some places, the secretaries you need to know how to read the monitors. So that's what they, because I think that's why the girl got paid more. The one that knew how to read it, you get paid a little bit more if you know how to read the monitors and be a secretary. So, but they did encourage me to do that. But I was staying there and watch the monitors because I'm watching the monitors of the other patients, make sure they don't do nothing. Hold on just a second. Make sure they don't do nothing crazy. So, but that's my experience with people coding, and so that was my very first. And I don't think I ever actually saw another person turn blue. I did see a man. Well, it had already happened. His brain like melted in his skull, and his eyeball popped out. I think he hemorrhaged. I think that's what they call it. He did have issues. I saw a lot of intubations. I'm in the ICU. I saw a lot of intubations. Um, and but that was I think that one guy was the only one who I actually saw turn blue. Because then it was usually, they're all in there, and I just get a chart and then I just monitor. What you do, I guess, what you do on the floors that are different. Um, I guess the ICU is just a totally different setup than the main unit. Because I think pretty much, I'm thinking back when I worked at the other hospital a long time ago, I did the same thing. I would just take the chart in the room, but I never really had any involvement. We weren't required to get CPR or participate in that, even though but anyway, let me leave that alone because of my blood pressure. But I just thought about something. But we knew CPR because we were required to have it, but we didn't participate because we were at the desk. But so let one last story. When I tell you them nurses they pull that cord. I remember I was in the break room, and I was coming down this little hallway, and then you go through the door, and then you're back on the unit in ICU. And the crash cart was right here, because we had one here by where I sat, and then one on the other end. And the room directly across from me, I see that like the curtain wasn't pulled all the way, and I see the charge nurse like between that little curtain, like a little space that was open. I could see the charge nurse. I was like, well, what is she doing? Like, what is she doing? And then so I'm right there by the crash cart. I grab the crash cart, push it into the room. Cause I'm like, well, what is she? I mean, and then as it's hitting me that she's about to pull, that makes somebody in there coding, cause she's right by the cord to pull it. Cause I see her, and then it's like, what is she? And then, so I was right there by the crash cart. So I ran it in, I unplugged it, and pushed it on up in there. I couldn't drive I know I can't drive no crash cart. And so that thing big. So look, I call way more. I probably I call more codes in the ICU than I did in on the main floor. In the main floor, because the main floor, all their codes happen on Mondays for whatever reason. I don't know what they was doing on Mondays, but they always had a lot of codes. Because I would come in on Tuesday and they be like, "Oh, thank everybody who helped us with the code on Monday." I'm like, "What? Why everybody coding on Mondays?" Like, what y'all doing up in here? So, but another story, and then I'm done. So when I worked on the main floor, we had this lady who came to the nurse station and she wanted to feed her husband. And they were like, "Ma'am, you cannot feed him. He is aspiration precaution. He'll choke." Well, he hungry. He need to eat. He hungry. Okay, so y'all know how they do. She didn't listen. She went down there. She feeding that man. That man aspiration precaution. That man started choking. That man turned blue. Everybody running down there. She in the hallway hollering, screaming. Because he was in one of them little rooms. He was in the isolation room. So I don't even know what kind of cooties he had. Because he was in the isolation room. And she hollering, screaming. I had to take her into the other room. I think that's the only time I ever, assisted with like getting the family out the way in the main floor. Because I used to do it all the time in the ICU. But on the main floor, I never really did. She doing all that hollering and screaming. I'm like, I'm you know, so I put her in the other room because it was an empty room. I put her in there and I'm thinking to myself, you the reason all this going on right now. They don't told you not to feed that man. He hungry. Okay. And now he choking. And he blew. And now she's screaming. I mean, when I said lady was screaming, carrying on in the hallway, she was screaming. Because, like, they told you, you came to the nurse station, they told you can't feed him. They told you that. But, you know, y'all know how it go. So, but those are my stories of my cold blues. That was my first cold blue. That was my first cold blue. I think my first and last I ever saw somebody turn blue. That was my first. That pee went right back up. Okay, I didn't have to pee. I was like, but you know. So tell me, have you ever seen anyone turn blue, or is it just like the standard? You know, they run past you, call it cold blue, and then you call it, and then that's it. But have you ever seen anyone turn blue? Now, the secretaries who used to be CNAs. Now, you might have some stories because you saw the patients. You were in there. You know, when everybody go in there to give them CPR, you were in there. So I'm pretty sure you have seen some stuff. You have seen people turn blue. But me, you know, just always being a secretary, that was my first time. And I had been a secretary for a long time before I saw someone actually turn blue. So if you got any questions, comments, you can put them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on my blog. It's jamiereedbooklets.com. It's where I talk about being a unit secretary. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.